Have you ever felt like you were losing your mind because a man's behavior didn't line up with what he said? It seemed like he was showing you one thing while telling you something completely different. What if I told you that the more strongly he feels pulled toward you, the more effort he puts into keeping it hidden? Here is the important truth that can shift how you see everything. When a man is quietly very drawn to you, he does not chase openly. Instead, he pulls back. He does not share his deep feelings. He keeps them covered. And he does not make his interest clear. He works to make it almost invisible. Today, we are looking closely at 6 clear signs that show you have become his hidden focus, even when he tries hard to keep it from you. These are not the usual signs people talk about. There is no simple talk about quick replies to messages. We're exploring the deeper mental patterns, the automatic actions, and the mixed emotions he cannot fully control no matter how much he tries. Because here is something few people explain about how men develop strong feelings. When you start to mean a lot to him and begin filling his thoughts while upsetting his usual calm, his first reaction is not to move closer. It is to guard himself. And that guarding often appears as space between you, seeming lack of care, and at times even a cool attitude. But his deeper mind will give him away again and again. By the time you finish this, you will understand exactly how to notice when you have turned into someone's quiet focus. You will learn to read the clues he does not even realize he is showing. And you will see why the man who looks the least interested could actually be the one thinking about you the most. If you want the full truth about his secret obsession, hit like so more women can discover these hidden signs. So find a comfortable spot and stay with me all the way through, because what you are about to learn will give you a special ability that many women never gain. Here is an important point about men and deep attraction that changes the whole picture. When a man notices he is developing strong feelings for a woman, it does not bring him joy right away. It actually scares him. And that fear leads men to act in ways opposite to what you might expect. Most women believe that when a man has strong feelings, he becomes more open, more active in reaching out, and more present. But here is the mental side that turns that idea around. When a man sees that someone holds power over his emotions, his first move is to take back control. And the simplest way to feel in charge is to behave as if that person has no effect on him at all. It is not about playing games. It is about protecting himself. Deep inside, he thinks if he can convince himself she does not matter, then maybe these emotions will fade. If he can show he does not need her notice, then maybe he will stop wanting it so much. If he can seem not bothered, then maybe he will truly feel that way. But here is the interesting twist. The more he works to push down his strong feelings, the clearer they become to anyone who knows where to look. Science explains this well. When we feel deep attraction, our brain releases chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine that create a kind of addictive reaction. But unlike other strong habits, this one brings a sense of being open to hurt, because strong feelings mean she can improve or ruin his day. She turns into the uncertain part in his usually steady world. So what does he do? He goes overboard in the other direction. He makes distance to show he does not need nearness. He acts relaxed to cover how much he really cares. He stays hard to reach to hide how much he wants to be available. This inner struggle between what he feels and what he shows creates repeated actions that stand out once you understand them. And here is why this is so meaningful. His strong feelings are not only about wanting you. They are about you becoming necessary for his emotional balance. You are not just someone he enjoys. You are someone he truly needs. And that kind of emotional closeness is something most men will not confess even to their own thoughts. Knowing this mental background is the main key, because once you realize his cool manner might actually cover deep feelings, you can begin to see the real clues. The clues he cannot pretend, cannot cover, and cannot manage. And that is exactly what we will look at next. Comment obsessed if you've ever felt a man was hiding strong feelings for you. The first sign that you have become his quiet focus is found in something very small that most women overlook. His whole presence changes strongly the moment you come into any area, even when he acts like he does not see you at all. And here is what makes this so strong. Energy is the one part he cannot pretend or manage, no matter how calm his outside face looks. When you enter a space, you might see he suddenly gets more lively if he was quiet before, or more calm if he was being loud. His energy adjusts around you, because your arrival affects his inner state. He might not look straight at you, he might not greet you, but his complete energy level changes. And that change happens because you have upset his usual balance. You will notice it in how he holds his body. Even if he is not turned toward you and seems busy with others, his shoulders may shift a bit in your way. His back becomes straighter. His actions turn more careful and aware. It is like his body is showing itself for just one person, even when his thoughts tell him to stay normal. Here is what is interesting about this action. When someone becomes our focus, they turn into our emotional guide point. Their nearness becomes what shapes our inner feelings. Joyful, worried, eager, or careful. All these states get started the moment they come into our notice. And for him, you have become that starting point. Science supports this nicely. Studies show that when we are near someone who means a lot emotionally, our body system works in a different way. Our heartbeat changes, our breathing adjusts, and our body movements adapt. These are automatic reactions that take place before his aware mind can step in. What makes this even clearer is how regular this pattern stays. It is not one chance event. Type yes if you want me to break down all 6 signs of secret obsession in detail. Every time you are in the same place, his energy adjusts around you. He becomes another version of himself, more alert, more aware, more there, and at times more careful. But here is what many women understand wrongly. They think this energy change means worry or unease, when really it means you matter. You are important enough to change his whole inner mood, his attention, and his actions. And if you have seen this pattern, if you have watched how he changes when you are near, even in small ways, you are seeing one of the clearest marks of hidden, strong feelings. His energy does not lie, even when his words try to. But as strong as energy changes are, the next sign reaches even further. Because when you have become his quiet focus, he begins noticing small things about you that even you may have forgotten you shared. And that is where his emotions become hard to argue against. When a man is quietly very drawn to you, his mind turns into a storage place for everything connected to you. And I mean all of it. He recalls talks you had some time back that you have fully forgotten. He brings up little points you said without thinking much. He keeps facts about what you like, your dislikes, and your passing ideas like they are very important. Comment energy if you've noticed his whole presence change when you walk into the room. But here is what makes this so clear. He does not do this on purpose. He is not making lists or working to remember facts about you. His mind, full of feelings, does it without effort because you have become his main interest. Everything about you gets marked as worth keeping. You might mention in passing that you enjoy rainy weather, and weeks later he brings it up when rain starts. You might talk about a hard meeting at work on a certain day, and he asks about it the next week. You might share one old story from childhood, and soon he mentions parts from that story in talks that seem unrelated. This is not just strong listening ability. This is putting emotions first. When someone turns into our focus, our mind treats everything they say as useful information. The feel-good chemical gets released when we find out something new about them, making those memories stay firmly. Here is what is even more telling. He often recalls things you said better than you remember saying them. You might think to yourself, I mentioned that, because to you it was just everyday talk. But to his mind, full of feelings, it was key information about the person who now feels his thoughts. And here is the surprising part. He uses these points in ways that feel almost special. He will bring you your favorite drink order from a talk months earlier. He will skip suggesting places you once said you did not enjoy. He will mention shared jokes you thought he had forgotten. These are not chance events. They are proof that your words have stayed strongly in his mind. What makes this action so meaningful is how chosen it is. Men do not do this for just anyone. His mind does not keep small facts about work friends or other people with this same care. But with you, every word gets saved, listed, and held. This memory effect happens because strong feelings create emotional weight around everything linked to that person. If a man remembered tiny details about you, comment details below. Your passing ideas become key ideas. Your quick comments become deep understandings. Your simple mentions become useful facts. So if you notice he brings up things you hardly remember sharing, if he mentions details that seem too minor to count, if he knows your likes better than some close friends do, you are not dealing with someone who just enjoys you lightly. You are dealing with someone whose thoughts have placed you as the central figure in his inner world. But keeping details is only the start. The next sign shows something even more meaningful about his feelings. Something that appears in how he guards you even from troubles you do not know about. Here is where his quiet focus becomes impossible to cover. When you matter this deeply to him, he grows an almost natural sense of anything that could touch you. And I am not speaking about clear guarding. I am speaking about quiet actions behind the scenes he does to protect you from issues, discomfort, or bad feelings, often without you ever learning he did it. You might see that some people who used to be near suddenly stay away. You might find that troubles you thought would come somehow fix themselves. Type protect if you've seen him quietly guarding you from problems you didn't even know about. You might learn that uneasy times you worried about never happen. And while you think it is good chance or luck, it is really him arranging your calm from out of sight. This guarding feeling shows in the smallest actions. Maybe he guides talks away from subjects he knows will bother you. Maybe he steps in quietly when someone acts too strong or not right. Maybe he manages plans so well that issues fade before they reach you. He becomes your unseen cover, turning away bad things you do not even notice coming. Here is what is interesting about this action. Guarding feelings are basic. When someone becomes our focus, our mind sees them as special, valuable, and worth keeping safe. It is not a planned choice. It is an automatic reply that happens because his emotional tie to you has started old guarding systems. You will also see he becomes very aware of your ease in any setting. He notices if you feel cold, hungry, tired, or uneasy, often before you notice it yourself. He changes his actions, his plans, and his surroundings to make your time better. Sometimes so quietly that you do not even see he is doing it. But here is what makes this sign so strong. Share this video so other women can spot when he's secretly obsessed but won't admit it. This kind of care is not something he can pretend or show on purpose. It comes from a real place of emotional tie. You cannot keep this kind of steady, quiet notice unless someone truly matters to you at a deep place. And here is the mental reason behind it. When we have strong feelings for someone, their good state becomes linked to our own emotional balance. Their ease becomes our ease. Their troubles become our troubles. Their joy becomes our joy. So guarding them is not just about being kind. It is about guarding our own emotional steadiness. What is even more clear is how this guarding reaches to your name and how others see you. He becomes watchful of you in talks you are not part of. He turns away negative words about you. He points out your good sides when others might look at the less good. He has become your supporter in places where you cannot support yourself. This guarding action shows something key about his feelings. You are not just someone he wants near. You are someone he wants to look after. You have started his caring systems, his watching systems, and his most basic male patterns around safety and care. So if you have seen that troubles seem to fix themselves near you, that disagreements stay away, that your days flow better when he is part of them, you are not seeing random good luck. You are seeing the actions of someone who has made your good state his own important task. But guarding is only one part of his feelings. The next sign shows something even more close. How his whole group actions change based on your nearness. Notice and support. When you have become his quiet focus, something special happens to his ways with others. He starts without thinking to show himself for an audience of one you. Even in group times, even when he is not talking directly with you, his actions adjust around whether you are looking, whether you like it, or whether you are noticing. You will see he gets more lively when you are near. His stories become funnier, his jokes work better, his sure feeling seems stronger. Not because he is trying to win you, but because your nearness lifts his energy. You have become his push, his reason to show the best side of himself. Comment jealous if you've felt him getting protective when other men are around. But here is where it turns really interesting. His group showing is not only about looking good. It is about looking good to you in particular. He notices what makes you smile, what holds your interest, what gains your respect. And then he, without planning, changes his actions to reach those points more often. Watch how he deals with others when you are there compared to when you are not. When you are present, he might give more kind words, be stronger with difficult people, and be more sure in his views. Your nearness brings out sides in him that do not always appear otherwise. It is as if you open a version of himself that he enjoys more. This happens because strong feelings create an inner watcher. Even when you are not actively looking or deciding, he feels like you are. His mind has made you the measure by which he checks his own actions. Am I being someone she would value? Am I acting in a way she would find appealing? Am I being the kind of person she would want near? Here is what is especially telling about this pattern. He looks for your support in quiet ways, even while keeping his independent look. He might look your way after telling a joke to see if you found it funny. He might wait a bit after sharing a view to check your reply. He might change his place or his energy based on signs he gets from you. And here is the mental side that makes this so strong. When someone becomes our focus, their view of us becomes more important than our view of ourselves. Their support becomes the approval we want most. Their notice becomes the notice that counts most. You will also see that he recalls your replies to his actions with special care. If you smiled at a certain kind of fun, he will use that kind more often. If you seemed pleased by a certain skill or trait, he will find ways to show that trait more regularly. If you showed interest in a subject he brought up, that subject will appear in later talks. This is not playing games or planned steps. This is someone whose mind has made making you happy a main goal. Your good replies become his reward system, strengthening actions that gain your notice and support. What makes this sign especially clear is how it goes against his tries to seem not bothered. While his words may suggest light interest, his actions are showing deep care. He is showing for you, changing for you, adjusting around you, all while acting like you do not have that kind of effect over him. But as telling as group changes are, the next sign uncovers something even deeper. It is about how his link with his phone, with his online world, fully changes because of you. His way with his phone becomes a clear view into his feelings for you. And here is what makes this sign so hard to argue against. If this is making sense, comment sign below and tell me which one you've noticed. Technology habits are automatic without thinking and very hard to pretend. The way he deals with his phone when you are part of it shows the truth about how much room you take in his mind. When you have become his quiet focus, you will see his phone actions become quite different around you. He might set it aside fully when you are together, giving you notice he does not give others. Or, on the other side, he might check it more often, hoping for a word from you even when you are right there. But here is where it gets truly clear. Watch how he manages his phone when a notice comes. If it is from you, there is a clear change in his energy. His body movements adjust. His attention gets sharper. His whole manner changes. Even if he tries to stay calm, his first reply shows him every time. You will also see he replies to your messages with special quickness and care, no matter what he is doing. While other people might wait a long time for an answer, your messages get quick notice. Even if he is in meetings with friends or busy at work, messages from you somehow always come first. Here is what is interesting about this action. Reply patterns show emotional importance better than almost anything else. We reply fast to what matters most to us. We make careful answers to people whose views we value. We check our phones often when we hope to hear from a certain person. And with his quiet focus, you have become that certain person. His phone changes from a simple tool into a possible link with you. Every notice sound becomes a chance that you are reaching out. Every shake becomes a moment of waiting. You may notice that his messages to you are very different from the way he talks to everyone else. They are more thoughtful, lively, and personal. He asks questions, remembers past conversations, and shares things he thinks you will enjoy. While others receive short, practical replies, you receive genuine conversation. He also remembers your work schedule, travel plans, and future goals, because your future has quietly become connected to how he imagines his own. Your plans matter to him because they shape when and how he might be part of your life. He may offer advice about your career, warn you about people he believes are not good for you, or share opportunities that support your goals. You may even notice him making small changes to his routine, visiting places you like, attending events you mentioned, or adjusting his schedule to increase the chances of seeing you, even if he calls it coincidence. If you have noticed these patterns, trust what you are seeing. You are recognizing the actions of someone who has made you the center of his emotional world, whether he is ready to admit it or not. If this brought clarity to confusing behavior, remember this is only the beginning of understanding how attraction and relationships work. If it connected with your experience, press like, subscribe for more insights into male psychology and hidden attraction, and share in the comments which sign you've noticed most. Your story may help another woman understand her own situation. Love should never leave you guessing forever.